Good day and welcome. My name is Mr. Pilane from the Dawa Academy. Join me today in our physical education class as we'll be discussing a topic under anatomy and physiology, being the skeletal system. Now, under the skeletal system, we are going to be dealing with bones in the human body. We are dealing with bones in the human body. Now, as humans, we are born with around 306 bones. But as we continue to grow, some of these bones, they fuse together, thus reducing the amount to around 206 to 205 bones. Now, as we will be giving a list of these bones, know that there are scientific names to these bones and general names to these bones. But we are very much interested in knowing the scientific names. So, the first bone that we get to deal with in the human body is the cranium. The first bone being the cranium, otherwise known as the skull. So I believe we have a pretty good idea what the skull is. This is this bone. This bone. Now, the cranium or the skull has different types of bones. It has cranial bones and it has facial bones. The skull has 8 cranial bones and 14 facial bones right here. So we have 14 plus 8 bones here. That makes up the skull. We move on to the clavicle, being the second bone. The clavicle. The clavicle, otherwise known as the collarbone. The clavicle, otherwise known as the collarbone. This is the bone located right here. This is our clavicle. We move on to the third bone, being the scapula, otherwise known as the shoulder blade. Shoulder blade. Now, the clavicle or the shoulder blade is the bone right here. This is the scapula or the shoulder blade. We move on to the fourth bone, being the humerus. Now, this is the bone in our arm, but it's in the upper arm. Now remember, your arm is divided into two. We have the lower arm and the upper arm. This is the humerus. From your shoulder to your elbow, this is the humerus. Now, the fifth bones are the ribs. Now, the ribs are here. These are our ribs, from both sides, from our left to the right. We have the ribs right here. Now, the sixth bone will be the sternum. The sternum, otherwise known as the breastbone, is right here, in between your chest, just in the middle of your chest. This is the sternum, otherwise known as breastbone. Now, we move on to our other bone, being the vertebrae. That is number 7. Our vertebrae, otherwise known as the spine. Our vertebrae, otherwise known as the spine, is the bone from my cranium going down along my body. This is the spine or the vertebrae. Moving on the other bone. Number 8, we have the ulna. Now, I was not giving a list in any particular order, it was randomly. So, the ulna is in our arm, it's in the lower arm. Now, in our lower arm here, we have two bones. We have the ulna and the radius. So, let me just write number 9 here, being the radius. We have the ulna and the radius. Now, these are two bones. For you to know the location, the ulna is located where? On the side of your pinky or your pinky finger. Your radius is located on the side of your thumb. Okay, so ulna on the pinky side and radius on the thumb side. Now, your radius is the one which is bigger and thicker than your ulna. Okay, now, number 10, the 10th bone. We have, come to the side. For the 10th bone, we have the femur. Now, for the 10th bone, we have bones in the hand. These are the bones in the hand. Our hand is made of different types of bones. Now, in the hand here, we have carpals, we have metacarpals, and phalanges. So that will be carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. For you to memorize this easily, it can be CMP. CMP. C for carpals, M for metacarpals, and P for phalanges. Phalanges are the ones at the tip of your fingers. Then metacarpals are the one in the middle, just right above your palm. Then phalanges are the one at the beginning of your palm. Okay, now the 11th bone is the pelvic girdle or the pelvis. The pelvis, otherwise known as the hip bone. The pelvis, otherwise known as the hip bone, is right here, is located here. This is the pelvis or the hip bone because it's at the human hip. Now, number 12, we have the femur bone. Femur bone. Now, for the femur bone is located in our legs. Just like our arms, the leg also is divided into two. We have the upper leg and the lower leg. Our femur is located in the upper leg. So my femur is located from my hip down to the knee. This is where the femur bone is located. From my hip going to the knee. This is where my femur bone is located. Now, for number 13, we have the patella. The patella, otherwise known as the kneecap, is located in between the upper leg and the lower leg, or just at the knee. The patella is right here. This is the cap which you can feel by your knee, slightly movable. Now, on our lower leg, we have tibia and fibula. That is number 14. We have tibia and fibula. Now, tibia and fibula are our bones in our lower leg. We have the tibia being the big bone and the fibula being the smaller bone. So, these are bones located in my lower leg. We have the tibia, which is on the inside of the body. And we have the fibula on the outside of the body. So we have tibia and we have fibula, with tibia being the bigger bone and fibula being the smaller bone. Moving on to number 15. For number 15, we have bones in our lower leg also, but at the sole or at the base of our legs. These are tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. So these are tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. To make it easy for you, this can be TMP. T for tarsals, M for metatarsals, and P for phalanges. These are the bones in the base of our leg. So, we have successfully compiled a list of the common bones in the human body. That is the cranium or the skull in our head, the clavicle or collarbone, which is right here. We have mentioned the scapula or the shoulder blade. We have went on to list or mention the humerus, which is the bone in our upper arm. We have mentioned the ribs, the sternum or the breastbone, which is located in between the ribs. We have also mentioned the vertebrae, which is the spine, ulna and radius, which are bones in our lower arm. We also went on to mention carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges, which are bones in the hand. We also went on to mention the pelvis or the hip bone. We also mentioned the femur, the patella, which is also the kneecap, tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. Hope we have better understanding of the human bones.